complications related to old age or as a result of some form of disease. Then there are the really unconventional cases. As you'll see, some people end up going out in a rather strange and unusual way. Poor judgment, accidents, and just freakish odds. These are definitely some of the strangest ways that people have died. Death by carrot juice. Everyone knows that carrots are good for you thanks to their vitamins. English health nut Basil Brown knew this and incorporated the vegetable into his diet. Brown consumed his carrots in liquid form, drinking a gallon of carrot juice a day. In addition to vitamin supplements he was taking, Brown was absorbing an unsafe amount of vitamin A, and the carrot juice was the final blow. When doctors found him, he was bright yellow thanks to a destroyed liver, which just couldn't keep up with all that healthy carrot juice. In need of a shave. If you don't have a beard, you likely know someone who has grown one. Be warned, however, as these whiskers could possibly lead to a very strange death. Take Hans Steininger, for example. In 1567, this Austrian was going about his business when a fire broke out. Hans did what anyone would do and ran for safety. Unfortunately, his beard was so long that he tripped on it. The resulting fall caused Hans to break his neck and now serves as a warning for all men who think they'd like to grow a beard. Death by cactus. They are prickly and can go pretty large, but no one really considers a cactus to be that dangerous. Add in some firearms, however, and you have the ingredients for a strange death. In 1982, David Grunman and a friend decided it would be fun to wander the Arizona desert and shoot at some cacti. However, he failed to remember that some of these plants can not only grow tall, but weigh thousands of pounds. Grunman found this out the hard way when the cactus fell over on him, squashing him like a bug. Beer tsunami. If Homer Simpson had a choice in the matter, we imagine this is the way he'd want to go. In 1814, several large vats of beer in a London, England brewery burst open. The surge of over 300,000 gallons of suds created a tidal wave that swept through nearby streets and buildings. Homes and businesses were damaged, basements flooded, and people were trapped. In the end, the tsunami of beer claimed 8 lives and was actually labeled as an act of God. Fatal wedgie. If you ever experienced a wedgie growing up, then you know it can be a painful experience. But can you die from one? In December 2013, Denver Lee St. Clair came home drunk and got in a fight with his stepson. One thing led to another, and before he knew it, St. Clair's underwear was pulled up and over his head in one of the most epic atomic wedgies ever dished out. Pulled right over his face, the man suffocated as the waistband became wrapped around his throat. Kamikaze plane. If you're a history buff, you know that kamikaze pilots deliberately crashed their planes into ships in World War II in an effort to sink them. In 2002, Roger Wallace became his own kamikaze while flying a remote-controlled airplane. One day, while flying his RC plane, Wallace lost sight of it in the sun. In a freak twist, the plane came diving back to Earth and struck him in the chest, killing him on the spot. Ironically, Wallace had left the sport of drag racing to take up RC planes because he thought it was safer. Dangerous passenger. Be thankful some airlines are strict about what you can carry on in your carry-on luggage. In 2010, a Congolese passenger liner plummeted to Earth, killing all but one. Well, technically 2 if you include the crocodile that also survived the crash. It turns out a passenger had brought the crocodile on board. When it broke loose, the reptile scared other passengers and created a stampede. The dramatic change in weight and balance in the plane caused the pilots to lose control, leading to the deaths of 19 crew and passengers. Death by sheep? Sheep are fluffy, cute, and harmless, right? Not if you're Betty Stobbs of Durham, England. In 1999, Stobbs was delivering a bale of hay to a flock of sheep on the back of a motorcycle. The sheep were apparently starving and rushed her while she was still on the bike. In the ensuing scuffle, Stobbs was knocked into a deep ravine. The good news was that she survived the fall. The bad news was that her bike came tumbling down and landed on her, making for one strange death. Death by video game. If you like video games or have kids who play them, then you know how much time can be spent in front of the computer or television. In 2005, a 28-year-old Korean man loved playing video games to the point that they killed him. Playing for 50 hours straight, the man only took small breaks to use the bathroom and nap. When police found him, they ruled he had died from cardiac arrest brought on from extreme stress thanks to his marathon gaming session. 1 in a million. Sometimes everything needs to align just right, or wrong in this case, to make for a truly strange death. In 1983, a woman was walking down the street in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Above her, a dog fell out of the 13th story window and began a domino effect of tragedy. The dog landed on the woman, killing her. Across the street, another woman stopped in shock at what she had just seen when a bus hit and killed her, a man who witnessed the death suffered a fatal heart attack. It's all very strange, but very true.